All right, today we're talking about Richard Thaler, the guy who won the Nobel Prize in 2017 for basically turning economics upside down. He looked at the old models with their perfect, rational people and said, hang on, what if we actually studied how real humans behave? It sounds simple, but it caused a massive rupture in the field. So let's get into it.
You see, Thaler didn't start with these super complex mathematical models. Nope. He started with stories. Little anecdotes he would collect about the weird, sometimes illogical, but totally human things that people do. And he quickly realized these stories weren't just funny exceptions to the rule. They were the rule.
I mean, think about this classic story. You've got a bowl of cashews. Everyone's munching away. Thaler sees this, takes the bowl away to save everyone's appetite for dinner, and they thank him for it. They were relieved. Now, hold on. Why? If they wanted to stop eating, couldn't they just stop? Why would having fewer choices make them happier? This little puzzle pointed to a huge conflict happening inside all of us.
To really get why that cashew story was such a bombshell, we need to understand the world Thaler was stepping into. It was a world that wasn't really populated by you and me, but by this other species.
Meet Homo economicus. Thaler likes to call them econs for short. These are the characters that starred in all the traditional economic textbooks, and they're basically superhuman. Imagine a person who's a perfect calculator, has the willpower of a monk, and is always looking out for number one. That's an econ. And when you put econs side by side with actual humans, well, the difference is pretty stark, right? Econs are these perfect beings. We humans, on the other hand, have what's called bounded rationality. Basically, we're not geniuses. We have limited self-control. We actually care about being fair to others, and we use mental shortcuts to just get through today. Thaler's entire career was built on exploring this massive gap. So Thaler basically became a collector of these so-called anomalies. He gathered up all these stories, like the one about the cashews, that showed where the elegant theories about Homo economicus just completely fell apart in the real world. And he started organizing his observations into these three bounds. He argued that pretty much all our economic choices are shaped by these things. Our brainpower has limits, we struggle with willpower, and we have this built-in sense of what's fair. And here's the crucial part. It's not that we're just randomly irrational. Oh no, we are predictably irrational. But, just pointing out the flaws wasn't enough. Thaler needed a new blueprint, a new set of tools to actually map out how the human mind works when it comes to money and choices. So first up is this problem of self-control. His planner-doer model explains that whole cashew situation perfectly. He said there's basically a battle raging inside each of us. You've got the planner, that's your forward-thinking self who wants to eat healthy and save for retirement. But you've also got the doer, who is just living for the moment and really wants that slice of cake right now. It's a fantastic analogy, isn't it? The wise planner, just like Odysseus, knows that the doer is weak. The doer can't resist the temptation, the song of the sirens. So the planner has to be smart about it. It has to create little tricks, like hiding the cashews, to force the doer to stay on the right path. Okay, so his other major tool helps us understand our limited rationality. It's called mental accounting. And trust me, it's this kind of psychological bookkeeping that every single one of us does, probably without even thinking about it. I mean, let me ask you this. Is a dollar always a dollar? According to classic economics, the answer is a simple yes. Money is fungible. A dollar you earn is the same as a dollar you find on the street. But is that really how we treat it?
No way. Of course not. We put our money into different mental buckets. There's the serious rent bucket. Then there's the fun vacation bucket. If you get a tax refund, you might treat it like found money and go splurge on something. But you'd be way more careful with that exact same amount if it came out of your regular paycheck. It's not logical, but it's totally human.
So Thaler gave us this amazing map of the human mind, but his biggest impact came when he started using that map to help us get where we want to go. The idea wasn't to force people to do things, but to, gently guide that. And this brings us to his most famous idea, the nudge. A nudge isn't some law or a ban. It's just a tiny change in the environment where we make decisions, what he calls the choice architecture. It just makes it a little bit easier for our better self, our inner planner, to win the day. The classic example? Putting fruit at eye level in the cafeteria. Simple as that. Now, the philosophy behind this is called libertarian paternalism. I know, it sounds like a complete contradiction, but it's actually pretty brilliant.
It's paternalistic because it's trying to help you achieve your own goals, like saving more. But it's libertarian because it never takes away your freedom to choose. You can always reach past the apple and grab the chocolate cake if you really want to.
Here's a perfect real-world example. The Save More Tomorrow program is just genius. It asks you to agree to save more money, but only from your future pay raises. So for your doer self, it feels completely painless. Your smart planner makes the decision today, and then it's all automated. It works with our natural tendencies, not against them. And of course, you can always opt out. And the results? They're just staggering. When the United Kingdom changed its national pension plan so that people were automatically signed up, unless they specifically chose to opt out, just changing the default option, the enrollment rates shot up to over 90%. That is the incredible power of a well-designed nudge.
So you see, Thaler didn't just add a new wing onto the House of Economics. He caused a foundational, constitutional rupture. He forced the entire discipline to tear down the old blueprints and rebuild on much more realistic human ground. I think this quote from the Nobel Committee just says it all. He's made economics more human. He dragged a field that was getting lost in abstract models about imaginary econs and brought it back to what it should have always been about: the messy, fascinating, and predictable behavior of real people. And the consequences of this shift are huge. After Thaler, you just can't ignore psychology anymore. It means markets aren't always perfectly rational. It means governments and companies have to design their systems with our human biases in mind. Behavioral economics isn't some quirky little side project anymore. It's right at the heart of the modern economic toolkit. Which brings us to a final thought for you. Think about your own life. Whether you want to save more, eat a little healthier, maybe finally learn that language. How could you redesign your own environment? How could you give your inner planner a helping hand? This video is part of the series The Architecture of Modern Economics, a constitutional map of the Nobel era, developed by Bank and Finance.